I didn't notice the bruise until the sunlight caught it. A purplish blotch, small but unmistakable, blooming on Emma's wrist as she reached for her juice box. "Hey," I said softly, setting down my coffee. "What happened to your arm, sweetheart?" She froze. A 6-year-old shouldn't freeze like that. Her eyes darted toward the kitchen doorway where Mark, my ex-wife's new husband, was rinsing a plate. Her lips parted as if to speak, but no words came out. "I fell," she said finally, looking down at her cereal. I glanced at Mark. He smiled, too wide, too quick. Kids, right? Always tripping over their own feet. The sound of ceramic clinking against metal filled the silence. Something deep in my gut twisted. It wasn't the first time Emma had come home with a story that didn't quite fit. Last week it was a bruise on her leg. The week before, a sprained finger. And every time, the same hollow excuse: I fell. But this was different. This time, when she raised her hand to eat, I saw the faint outline of fingers, imprints that didn't come from a fall. After they left that afternoon, after Emma hugged me tight, whispering, "I love you, Daddy," before climbing into her mom's car, I sat there in the quiet, staring at the empty breakfast bowl. My hands were shaking. I tried to tell myself I was overreacting. That kids get hurt. That maybe the new guy wasn't so bad. But the thought didn't stick. There was something in Emma's voice, fear disguised as obedience. When Lisa and I divorced 2 years ago, it was ugly. She'd fallen for Mark while we were still trying to fix things. Therapy sessions, promises, second chances, lies laid over lies until the truth cracked open. I'd walked away, not because I stopped loving her, but because I couldn't keep loving someone who looked me in the eye while lying. Still, I thought, naively, that Emma would be safe. That whatever happened between Lisa and me, she'd never put our daughter in harm's way. But now, I wasn't sure. That night, I called. Lisa answered on the third ring. "Hey, it's late. Everything okay?" "Emma's wrist," I said. "She said she fell." "But she did, Tom." Her voice sharpened, impatient. "She tripped on the porch steps yesterday. Mark told me. He saw it happen." "Did he?" I asked. "Don't start." I could hear the irritation in her tone, the defensiveness that always flared when Mark's name came up. "She seemed scared," I said quietly. There was a pause. "You're reading too much into it. You always do. Don't project your issues with Mark onto Emma." "My issues?" I snapped, heat rising in my chest. "Lisa, she's 6. If something's happening." "Nothing's happening," she shouted, cutting me off. "You need to stop. You're making this harder for everyone." The line went dead. I sat there, phone pressed against my ear, the silence humming like static. Days passed. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't think about anything else. Every text from Lisa felt like a performance. "Emma's fine. Stop worrying. Mark's great with her. You need to move on." But then came Thursday. A teacher from Emma's school called. "Mr. Davis, Emma had an accident today," she said. "Her arm's broken. We've called her mother." My heart stopped. "What happened?" "She said she fell down the stairs," the teacher replied, uncertain. But she was shaking. She didn't want to talk about it. By the time I got to the hospital, Lisa was pacing in the hallway, mascara streaking her face. "She fell," she said the moment she saw me. "It's just a small fracture. The doctor said she'll be okay." I brushed past her into the room. Emma sat propped up in bed, her tiny arm wrapped in a white cast. Her eyes were red, her cheeks tear-stained. When she saw me, her lips trembled. "Daddy." I knelt beside her, trying to keep my voice steady. "Hey, sweetheart. What happened?" She looked toward the door, where Mark stood leaning against the frame, arms crossed. "Emma," I whispered, "you can tell me the truth." Tears filled her eyes. Her voice was barely audible. "He said if I tell you, he'll break the other one." The words hit me like a knife. I turned slowly toward Mark. For a moment, everything went still. The heart monitor beeped, steady and mechanical. The fluorescent lights hummed above us. My pulse thundered in my ears. "What did you say?" I asked, my voice low, deadly calm. Mark smirked. Careful, Tom. Don't make a scene in front of your kid. Lisa grabbed my arm. Stop, please. But I shook her off. You touched my daughter. Tom. You touched her. Mark stepped forward, his voice dropping to a whisper only I could hear. Watch your mouth. You lost her once. Don't make it worse. That was it. The last thread holding me together snapped. I lunged, grabbing him by the collar and slamming him against the wall. Nurses rushed in, shouting. Someone pulled me back, but I barely heard them. All I could see was Emma's terrified face. They escorted me out of the hospital. The police were called. Lisa screamed at me in the parking lot, saying I was unstable, dangerous, vindictive. But I'd already called someone, Child Protective Services. And this time, I had proof. The nurse had seen Emma flinch when Mark entered the room. The doctor had documented the pattern of her injuries. It took 3 days. 3 days of hell. Then, finally, a call. Mr. Davis, Emma is safe. We've removed her from the home temporarily. An investigation is underway. I broke down right there in my car. Relief, rage, guilt. They all tangled together until I couldn't tell one from the other. Weeks passed before Lisa reached out. She sounded different, hollow, shaken. They took Mark in, she said. He admitted it. Said he was just disciplining her. I didn't know, Tom. I swear I didn't know. I wanted to scream, to ask how she could be so blind. But the anger drained out of me, leaving only exhaustion. She trusted you, I said quietly. Both of us did. I'm sorry, she whispered. I thought he loved her. I closed my eyes. So did I. Emma's living with me now. She sleeps with the light on and flinches at loud noises, but she's healing. Slowly. Last night, as I tucked her in, she asked, Daddy, is Mark gone forever? I hesitated, then said, Yeah, sweetheart. He is. She smiled faintly, drifting off to sleep. I sat there beside her, watching her chest rise and fall. I thought about Lisa, how love can twist, how trust can rot from the inside out until it poisons everything it touches. And I realized something brutal. Sometimes betrayal isn't just about cheating hearts. Sometimes it's about who you choose to believe, and who you choose to ignore. Because love can blind you. And in that blindness, monsters find their way home.